morning once again and welcome back to TV3, specifically New Day. It's time for a special interview here this morning, and we're going to expose a certain fellowship to you, and hopefully you'll be able to buy into this with all your heart as well. Now, the Young Africans Leaders Initiative, YALI, is a signature effort to invest in the next generation of African leaders. Nearly 1 in 3 Africans are between the ages of 10 and 24, and approximately 60% of Africans are below the age of 35. President Obama launched YALI in 2010 to support young African leaders as they spur growth and prosperity, strengthen democratic governance, and enhance peace and security across Africa. Now, the Washington Fellowship of the Young African Leaders brings 500 dynamic young African leaders ages 25 to 35 from across the continent to the United States for 6 weeks of leadership training and mentoring at 20 different universities and colleges in 3 areas: business and entrepreneurship, civic engagement, and public administration. This morning, I have 2 of these fellows with me in the studio. Namely, we have Lord Boateng. He's from the Mandela Washington Fellowship of YALI, and Araba Hammond, who's also from the Mandela Washington Fellowship of YALI. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How's everything going?
Everything is very good.
Good. How did you get into the fellowship? Because I know that's the main question that everybody's going to be asking themselves this morning.
Well, the news is always generally out there, but for me, I happen to be an alumna of Ashesi University, and so the communication came to me through Ashesi University late last year. So that was the first batch, if you'd like, of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So 2014 was the first time that the fellowship started.
Right.
So, but there's information on the fellowship's website, and then the U.S. Embassy in Ghana also has a lot of information about the fellowship.
Lord, was it the same for you?
Slightly different. So when President Obama launched it in South Africa in 2010, I happened to watch it and I listened to it, so I kind of was following up. And I kind of forgot about it. And later on, I saw advertisements on TV3, GTV, and in the papers. So I prepared and turned in an application, and we're both lucky to be fellows.
How was the application process? Was it very competitive? Did you find people were very eager to try and get out of here and get over there and have the experience of the fellowship?
Well, we didn't know about the initial numbers until after. After. So, I mean, when we put in our applications, we were just putting in our applications as ourselves, we were presenting ourselves and hoping to be among the chosen. But we found out later that there were quite a number of people interested.
How many people applied?
Across Africa,
Like 70,000.
there were about 70,000 applications in general. 50,000 were considered as valid applications, and then out of the 50,000, only 500 were chosen from.
In Ghana, there were about 3,300 applications.
Wow.
And the Ghana cohort were about 18. So 18 people from Ghana out of 3,300.
Wow.
It was, finding out later was quite humbling.
Yes, it's very humbling.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how else was the experience? I mean, you mentioned humbling, but what were some of the other things that you experienced while you were going through this?
During the application process?
No, not just during the application process. I mean, during the whole fellowship.
So like the hallmark of everything was meeting President Obama himself, First Lady Michelle Obama, John Kerry, Susan Rice, Samantha Powers.
Is he as charismatic as he seems on television?
He is. He's just like you.
Vote for me. I could be our next president.
He's very charismatic and very down to earth. It was a town hall meeting, so you get to talk to him, you get to shake him. Yeah. I haven't washed my hands, but
cholera,
Ebola. So I am.
All right, cool.
So the design of the whole fellowship was a 6-week academic institute in a college in the U.S. So the 500 were distributed across those
different universities,
20 colleges. In groups of 20. I went to Wagner College in New York.
Right. I was in Morgan State, Baltimore.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been to that university. All right. Now, what kind of opportunities have you guys been given since you've come back? Or what kind of opportunities do you see for yourself since you've come back?
The opportunities started over there. And they were really great. In addition to the 500 people who were selected, there's another sub internship.
Okay.
You stay for an additional 2 months. Fortunately, Araba and I were able to participate in that, so we're there for about 3 months, where you do a one-on-one internship with a facility or an institution that is related to your field.
Okay.
So I was working in Cincinnati Health Department. You are booted in, and you are doing serious stuff.
Nice.
So you make great networks. You just get to know so many people. In addition to that, you have this. We had this expose where different companies, different institutions came and sort of sold us to us their products, what they do. So if you want sponsorship or something, you want to go further your career,
okay,
you have these networks strongly built. So it was really great. Yeah.
And the highlight for me, I think, was meeting other like-minded Africans, young Africans.
Yeah.
It's difficult sometimes when you're in your corner in your country, worrying about solving a particular problem, but getting to meet other people from across sub-Saharan Africa who are struggling with the same issues daily, and getting to share ideas with them was a fantastic opportunity.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I mean, now that you're back, and you said that they're helping with furthering your projects and your in your field, is there like a seed fund which you guys have access to be able to fund certain investment into the projects that you want to do?
Yeah, there are various funding opportunities depending on your area of work, but
right.
I mean, you have to put in the work. I mean, if there's a grant available, you have to do the grant writing and then access the grant. But because we are fellows now, we have access to all these grants.
Okay.
In fact, we even started before we came. 2 Ghanaians, Regina Ijari and JJ, won, I think, a 25,000 grant to expand their business. And these are Ghanaians, people who work in Ghana. So the funding opportunities are there. And, well, you've been taught how to fish. So you have to go out and fish. You go sell yourself, and you would make something out of it.
Well done. Okay, so when's the next fellowship opening then?
It's already open.
It's already open.
Yes.
So
the deadline.
You guys out there?
Yes.
When's the
deadline is November 5th.
November the
So
5th.
Yeah.
If you're serious about it, you better start putting in your application.
Yeah, now's the time to.
Now's the time. They shouldn't wait until November the 5th, should they? How long before the closing date did you guys apply? Well, you followed it for a couple of years, so I know that you're.
Sadly, I submitted on the day before the last.
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
The same?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I generally.
But when you
operate,
think
so
about it now, would you have done the same thing again?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Although, see, the thing is, it depends on your personality. If you are that kind of person, go for it. But technology can fail, especially here. So
very true.
I suggest do a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in regards to people out there who are hoping to have access to the fellowship the same way you did, and see some, because right now things are a bit tough here in Ghana, see some light at the end of the tunnel, what would you advise them?
First, I think people should be original. They should be themselves as much as possible. People tend to want to be like other people a whole lot. If you have a dream or a project that you're passionate about, just be original and go for it. Also, be authentic. I mean, don't say things about yourself that are not true.
Right.
People tend to go that way a lot. And then thirdly, if you are looking at this as an opportunity to get out of Ghana and not come back, then this is not for you.
This is not Brazil. Yeah. Thank you. Go on.
A big part of this is what you do, volunteerism.
Right.
There's a lot of social enterprise in it.
Okay.
So you have to sell that aspect of you. If you join, if you volunteer somewhere to teach, you mentor kids, if you are working in such an area, you should add that to your application as well. I think it will really push you. Yeah.
Is there some type of interview that they give you? Will you meet somebody to have words with them?
Yes.
Yeah, once you've gone through the application.
So I told you that 3,300 Ghanaians applied. It was shortlisted to 95, and 95 candidates were interviewed. And the good thing is that it was divided. There was a southern interview and northern interview to give everybody an opportunity. So
to get there.
They will come to the northern region and host the interviews.
Oh, that's good. All right. So if you're out there and you want to make an application, please ensure that your application is truthful. You saying that you're outspoken and vibrant and all the rest, and when they ask you to say, that's not going to work. All right. But thank you so much for coming in this morning. And we want to also thank the U.S. Embassy in Ghana as well for helping with this initiative. Thank you so much for coming in. This has been Lord Watting from the Mandela Washington Fellowship of YALI, and also Araba Hammond from the Washington Fellowship of YALI. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.